Cycling across Vermont feels like taking a step back in time, with the Green Mountain State offering a tranquil escape from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. The crown jewel of cycling in Vermont is the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail, which crosses much of the state from Swanton to St. Johnsbury. While generally described as crossing the state, the 93-mile trail falls 31 miles short of the borders. To fill the gaps, I started in Rouses Point, New York, and crossed into New Hampshire near Monroe. This trip almost didn't happen as the remnants of Hurricane Beryl rolled through Vermont just as I arrived. The morning after the storm, authorities had closed the entirety of the trail, but as crews examined the trail, closures began to disappear. By the end of that day, most of the trail was open, though the trail surface was described as rough. With all the damage across the state, I was happily surprised to see VTrans prioritize the trail. Encouraged by the rapid progress, I set out to ride across Vermont. On the first day, I rode from Rouses Point, New York to Swanton, where I jumped on the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail and rode that all the way to Jeffersonville, where I had an Airbnb waiting for me.
Up the green hills where wildflowers grow, wheels hum softly where the rivers flow. Pack on the back, heart feels so light. Pedals turn easy in the dawn's early light. The covered bridges by old stone walls, echoes of history and the mountain calls. Dirt roads twist through towns so small. Vermont whispers how I crave it all. Roll on, past the maple, past the pine, where the air is brisk and the stars align. Every mile, every turn, dreams unwind. Bikepacking through Vermont, leave the world behind. Cold mornings wrapped in the misty hue, farm stands feed the soul, sky's endless blue. Bears and deer watch as shadows grow tall, adventure with each breath on every rise and fall. Green peaks stand guard, sentinel of time, songs of the land hum in rhythm, in rhyme. Feet on the pedals, wanderlust kind, finding fragments of me left behind. Roll on, past the maple, past the pine, where the air is brisk and the stars align. Every mile, every turn, dreams unwind. Bikepacking through Vermont, leave the world behind. Past the maple, past the pine, where the air is brisk and the stars align. Every mile, every turn, dreams unwind. Bikepacking through Vermont, leave the world behind.
Encouraged by the minimal trail damage on day 1, I set out on day 2 to ride from Jeffersonville to Danville to meet up with an old friend. This stretch still had a few closures, one of which was closed to facilitate repairs to damage from last year's storm.
spin on dusty trails, echoes of old rail tales. Mountains whisper, trees bend low, northern wind begins to blow. Gravel crunch beneath the tire.
On this day, I came across Tyler Barney, who was out on his own adventure, riding a multi-day loop from Burlington. It was a pleasure to have the company and to share a few miles with a fellow bikepacker.
We fond farewells, the shadows leave. Pedal on through the quiet morn, silent witnesses of dew-draped corn. Empty roads where ghosts reside. Find your peace, let fear subside. Barns begrimed with age-old sun, memories of where lives took root. Birds acclaim the rising day, easeful rhythm float away. Maple syrup, dreams in shade, hallowed tales the hills have made. Whispers through the rustling leaves, northern Vermont's heart believes. Miles pass in soft repose, cows in pastures, drowsy doze. Every turn a new embrace, cycle on a gentle pace. Suns are setting over green hills, maple shadows soft and still. Wheels turn with an ancient thrill, every mile a tale to spill. Every turn a new story spun, beneath the moon, beneath the sun. Miles behind, yet just begun, in this land where the rivers run. Ride through Vermont where the spirit's free, wildflowers dancing just like you and me. Wind in our hair, hearts on our sleeve, through the valleys we'll never grieve.
Day 3 was a short and relatively quick descent from Danville to St. Johnsbury, with an unceremonious end to the Lamoille Valley Trail. From there, I took some quiet gravel roads south following the Passumpsic River before crossing the Connecticut River and to Monroe, New Hampshire.
Golden leaves beneath my feet, whispering winds, a secret kept through the canopy. Nights so sweet in the endless wood, I've wept. Ancient trees, their wisdom deep, speak in silence, secrets old. In their shadows creep, mysteries in their bodies. one.